Sue Smith sitting in for Aaron Rand. Great to be with you this week, and I'll be back next week. Last week we opened up the phone lines to you, and one of our callers wanted to talk about mosquitoes. He said he wants to sit out on his balcony and enjoy the weather, but he can't because of the mosquitoes. And, during the break, I've been scratching my ankle. I think I got a bite at the Als game the other day. It is the season for sure. Julia Mlynarek is an entomologist at the Montreal Insectarium. She's my favorite insect expert, and she joins us on the line. Good afternoon, Julia.
Good afternoon, Sue. Thanks for having me again.
It's always great to talk to you. So are the mosquitoes worse than usual this year?
Well, it could be because of different factors. For one, the winter was really mild.
Yeah.
So that created that some populations of mosquitoes of certain species survived better than others. Survived more easily. Then there's the factor that the spring was very wet, as we all remember. So there was a lot of rain, and so that meant that there's a lot of stagnant water. And if there's a lot of stagnant water, that means there's more habitat for the development of mosquito larvae and then mosquito adults that we all see now. Mm-hmm. And then the heat that we're having now and the humidity, it also kind of creates that populations remain active a lot longer and sort of reproduce and have bigger and bigger populations. They keep reproducing, so there's more and more population.
Wow. So sounds like pretty much the perfect conditions for a major mosquito invasion.
It does feel like it, yeah.
Okay, something you said that kind of scared me, which is certain species. How many species do we have of mosquitoes?
Oh, there's quite a few species. I mean, of different groups. There's probably 100-ish species in Canada that are around. There are bigger ones, smaller ones. Some overwinter as larvae, some overwinter as eggs, and so it's really dependent. So there are different species depending on the time of year, but they're all very active during the summer.
So, like in Montreal, how many species might we see?
Oh, that's a very good question. I would say about 30-ish, probably.
Wow, I had no idea. I remember I lived in Jamaica for a while, and and the mosquitoes were brutal. And I remember coming back to Montreal, and the mosquitoes looked so huge to me. They looked like helicopters. Are mosquitoes bigger than, like in the West Indies, for example?
They could be a bit bigger, but I don't think it would be that huge of a difference. Mm-hmm. But they could be bigger, but there's a lot smaller ones as well. So the ones that we don't really tend to see, but they bite us.
Yeah.
And so I think they go under the radar a bit more than the bigger ones that we do see.
Okay, so I have to ask you the question that I always ask myself is why do they exist? What role do they play in our ecosystem? I mean, birds, I guess, right?
Yeah, birds, other predatory insects, both in aquatic and terrestrial habitats. They're good indicators. Certain species are really good indicator species of habitat quality and habitat degradation. So you see some species are present in certain habitats that have very clear waters, whereas other ones are prefer much muckier kind of water, and so we can sort of say about habitat quality depending on what species we see, depending where they are.
Oh, that's interesting. And it's true, I forgot about fish, but I guess they jump up and eat mosquitoes, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Fish, frogs, other predators, dragonflies, bats. So everything eats mosquitoes, both in water and outside of water. So they're really good food source for a lot of species.
It's funny you mentioned bats too, because so basically mosquitoes are 24/7, eh? They're not nocturnal or diurnal. They're just always there.
Yeah, they are always there, but some species tend to be more active at dusk or at dawn.
Yeah.
So you can sort of exactly when we do want to go outside and sort of sit on our deck and enjoy the evening. That's when the mosquitoes kind of come out and get us a bit more, and that's because that's more active, and that's when bats actually start coming out a bit more as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And that one that is in your bedroom when you turn out the light. At the top of the ceiling that you can't quite reach. I like that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one that keeps you awake when they buzz.
Yes, exactly. So how can we reduce them on our balconies? I'm assuming since you're an entomologist, you will tell us safe ways to do it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Well, there's ways sort of masking your odor as much as possible, because they are attracted to our to our sweat or odors. I mean, they recognize mammals from our smells, and the CO2 that we exude. So I mean, we can't not exude CO2 because we have to breathe. But but there's plants like citronella or lavender, strong smelling plants. If you have a lot around where you're sitting, that could mask your odors and actually kind of reduce the amount of mosquitoes that are around. Or other ways, I mean it's hot out, so it's a difficult thing to suggest. But wearing long pants and long sleeves, they tend to bite less.
Yeah.
And then having a fan sometimes on your deck, if you can have some like a little fan, when they're not super great flyers, so they get carried away by wind. So if you're sitting close to a fan, they will get blown away.
I heard one time someone say, because there's a lot of urban myths about mosquitoes, that if you wear white, and I find, well, I guess also you can just see them better, but if they're not attracted to white.
Yeah, they're white or beige colors. They tend to be attracted to bright blues, yellows, because some species again are they pollinate as well, and so they are attracted by the color of flowers like blue and yellows. So flowers that don't smell, of course, but so they're attracted by those. And so if you do wear more beigeish or whitish clothes, they'll tend not to come to you as much.
I never realized mosquitoes were pollinators. That's another reason I have to like them a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do their part, especially in some ecosystems where there are fewer bees. They do tend to overtake pollination a bit more.
Wow!
But here as well, but they do give even around Montreal, they do have their little say in pollination.
What about thermocelles? I find that they're pretty effective. Are they okay for the environment?
I believe so. I mean, they're pretty popular now, and I haven't read anything that says that they're not. But so there hasn't been that much done about the what thermocells do in ecosystems. At least not that I have read.
I'm just curious what you think about municipalities that spray. I'm not going to name any municipalities, but I know there are some where there are golf courses where there are no mosquitoes, and I have to say it's nice to be in those places, but I'm guessing that's not great either for the ecosystem.
No, I'm pretty much against spraying if at all possible, because they are a nuisance, but at the same time, if you spray if you use a chemical that affects mosquitoes, it can affect other insects as well and other creatures, and so then there's a mismatch in the whole ecosystem, and then that can derail the ecosystems that we live in, and I don't think it's really worth it for a couple hours of for humans.
Well, texters just said that they set coffee grounds on fire. It smokes and the mosquitoes go away. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah. Smoke is definitely good. So, I mean, if you're camping and you have a fire going, they will tend to stay away from. As you move away from the fire, there'll be more and more mosquitoes, so because of the smoke.
Right. All right. Well, looks like we have to learn to live with them in any event. Julia, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely. Hopefully it answered some questions.
You answered a lot of questions. Thanks for talking to us. That's Julia Mlynarek. She's an entomologist at the Montreal Insectarium. She's my favorite insect expert, and I hope she's yours too, because, she's great.
iHeartRadio is throwing it back.
2010s, the decade.
To the days of huge hits and unforgettable anthems. A non-stop stream of the biggest and best.
Drake, Rihanna, Beyonce, Katy, Gaga, The Weeknd,
And more. All your decade-defining favorites, all in one place.
Hi, it's Katy Perry.
Hey, it's Bruno Mars.
This is Kesha.
Find 2010's The Decade on the free iHeartRadio app. Preset the station so it's always one tap away.